Everything starts with the rule of law. Both parties have something in common, which is referred to as the treaties itself. The treaties already set up certain arrangements between the Empire of Morocco and the several European states, such as the United States of America, Great Britain, Germany, France, Spain, Ireland, Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, Italy, etc. You always start with the treaties because the treaties already set forth language on how both parties are supposed to respect each other. In addition to the treaties, you can always lean upon the Charter of the United Nations of 1945 that in Articles 1, Section 2, Article 73 and 74 talks about how do states start to engage with indigenous people. We as Moroccans are the indigenous people. Mm-hmm. And the Empire of Morocco is an ancient state of indigenous people. So the Charter of the United Nations starts to talk about how do you come together as two separate states, right? Two separate states start to engage in friendly relations. Mm-hmm. Well, you start with your treaties because the treaties are about friendly relations. You start with the Charter of the United Nations because that's about keeping peace and security. And from there, you start to just simply sit down and seek friendly relations through what's called political reforms. All states are obligated to seek inquiry to settle any type of question peacefully. But the answer is always go back to your treaties. That's where everybody has a common denominator of a starting point. And that's the answer, it's the treaties. So, okay. So in other words, the Europeans are going to respect the treaties because they became signatory powers to the treaties. And from there, it starts to get into other political negotiations. But everything goes back to the treaties that the Europeans have already agreed to. It's just that Moors, i.e. Moroccans, have to become accustomed to what's called political negotiations and discussions on a world stage. That's something that we're not accustomed to doing. However, you have a lot of people call themselves Black, and they're holding high-ranking positions with the United States government. They already know how to deal with political reforms and political negotiations with other states. They're already doing it. They just don't know how to pitch it from a Moroccan perspective because they've been Americans their whole life and not knowing that they were naturalized and adopted by the United States. Anybody call themselves Black don't realize they used to be Moroccans and they got adopted as Americans, and now they're representing the United States of America, and they have these high-ranking positions on how to deal with political reforms. We just need them to come home and continue to exercise that expertise that they already have. However, the Empire of Morocco right now is at a stage where a lot of the Moors who come into the Moroccan movement do not have that expertise on a world stage. So we need our brothers and sisters to come home to the Empire of Morocco and take office, their proper seat to represent the Empire of Morocco, and stop representing the United States. But trust me, they already have the resume. They already have the experience. We just need them to come home and represent their biological mother state instead of representing their adopted mother state. That's true.